Now, who are we trying to find again? It's been a while since we've played this last.
Yeah, this is the problem with, I have this problem when I'm playing games where, I have to prioritize the ones that are doing decently well. And so things like Masquerada sadly have to usually take back of the list. Especially, you know, when you're busy and I'm busy and, ugh.
Wasn't someone abducted, or who are we looking for?
Well, no, we're following the lead to where the Herald went. You know,
Lucia.
Yeah, there we go.
I knew she was a traitor. I knew that even with the deepened voice, she was the Herald.
Okay, there's a certain peace to be found in this place. The world is rushed. This is the Frantic Star. The world is rushed. Its people frantic.
Sunken Star. You're saying Frantic Star.
Oh, sorry. Severe dyslexia. No, I don't know. Anyway, there's always something happening. Some dagger you need to be wary of. Some flash of fire you need to anticipate. Some betrayal you need to guard against. Of course, none of that matters when you're alone. Alone you are free. Alone you needn't worry about the bindings that the world would shackle you with. Alone you can find peace. The Sunken Star is a great testament to that. The flowers that form the sheet of yellow in the field are known as Lianyara. They'd been brought over by runic merchants who'd attempted to grow them in large enough quantities to produce brilliant golden dye out of the flower petals. They failed because of an unfortunate alignment of tragic circumstances, and they abandoned the ward, allowing the flowers to grow in peace. No one seemed to want to claim the ward, even after the merchants left. Some said the location was poor, and it was, and others said that Lianyara would be too troublesome to get rid of. I, for one, think all of those are excuses. It's easy to take this place with its quiet wonder. Take to this place with its quiet wonder. I think no one took over the ward because it was a symbol they secretly wished to remain. It was serenity in a world so grim. And yet, now I am here for reasons I cannot bring myself to profess. I'd been here once before. It was a time ago when the blood in the streets ran in rivulets rather than streams. Cyrus told me to meet him here in the dead of night one evening. I had just become an inspectori at the time and had pulled enough strings to get him his place as custodian of the Hall of Bearings. "Look out at that field, brother," he had said as we sat on the cliff overlooking the basin of yellow that inspired the area's name. "What do you see?" "Flowers," I said, confused about what he was getting at. "You said you bring me here to see something special." He chuckled. "This is special." He lifted a finger. "What do you see amongst the flowers?" "Nothing. It's all yellow." "Look again," he said, and at that time I did. "The wind," I said softly, coursing through the field. "You can see the wind in the flowers. How it moves them, pulls them to its will, so invisible yet so present. This place has a magic to it, a subtle one, to be sure, but it's all here. It's here all right." He turned to me. "I wanted to thank you." "For?" I frowned. "For?" "Your magic," he said, turning back to the moonlit field of gold. "Your quiet influence, the way your will works itself on the world, how it brings people together." He paused. "I spoke to Lysandra." I swallowed. My mouth turned dry. "She says the mask runners are inspired now that I'm a custodian." "Cyrus," I said, croaking, "you know that wasn't my intention." "You are their wind, Cicero," he said, without turning to me. At that moment, I knew why he'd brought me here, to pull me in, to get me to commit, to join forces with the mask runners by convincing me how much of a hero I was to them. Well, brother, looks like I came after all.
I think it's very appropriate that we chose an air mask then.
Yes.
I don't know if that text would have changed depending on your mask. I can't imagine there being flames in the flowers or... Oh.
Yeah, she's whispering in.
For the gull to veer from the storm front.
Apparently, people have been going to Keith's series of this because Keith reads the logs. My problem with reading the logs is, well, true. Yep, knew there was going to be something.
Oh, that's a die.
That log took like 4 minutes to read.
Well, you were stumbling a bit. If you had me read it, it would have gone much more smoothly.
You read slower than I do, so even if you don't stumble, it's still slower.
No,
or as slow.
I read it with inflection, which is important.
This place has seen better days.
The barn, with an ominous hole in it.
Plans for you.
May as well lay a carpet out while you're at it.
But first, a spare masquerine. It's like they're just throwing these things at me. I'm curious how far we are from the ending. Oh. Ruins the Sunken Star. It seems the reluctance with which the residents of the city have treated the Sunken Star has allowed one of its secrets to remain hidden. There's a set of ruins beneath the Field of Yellow, and it seems mostly untouched. I wonder if the farmers that initially claimed this ward as their own had any idea what lay beneath it.
Here we go.
Purple.
Oh, great.
Any kind of mist? Yeah.
Yep. It's a new type of enemy. Oh, 3.
Yep, you don't have your allies to help you this time around.
It's okay. It barely does damage to me. If you notice, it's not even getting through my focus meter, which is recovering slowly.
Was it using skulls?
No.
Yep.
All right. Bad, but manageable. As long as...
Nope.
Oh, come on. Huh.
One just died. That was interesting.
Oh. The golems are helping us.
How can that be?
Well, they're Lucia's. So why not?
Wait, so... Well, I suppose Lucia wants to get you on her side.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lucia's very specifically doesn't want us to get killed here. Horses!
Even though you're most likely her enemy.
Shadow Fae. Shadow Fae. Fae that seem to be made out of shadow. I do not believe any of her records have details of such creatures. Ages. What is this world coming to? Yeah, so I'm just gonna read some of the logs, seeing as people are complaining. I prefer to read the relevant ones, though.
Are you following me? Ah, the quiet types, I see. Well, I look forward to some deep conversation then. Come on, let's go.
Alright.
New party members.
As usual, we explore first.
They don't even have the transparent wall, though, so...
Yeah. But you always gotta check. I mean, we've already found one plant and masquerine by going slightly out of our way.
No, I know. I just noticed that it wasn't
Yeah.
becoming transparent, so it wasn't likely that you're supposed to go down there.
Probably not. There's not a whole lot of exploration here, but I'll still try it. It's nice because I don't waste a whole lot of time exploring. They are clipping inside of each other.
Yep, I mean, they are hulking
Either of you happen
monstrosities.
to know a way across?
We're gonna make a bridge for you.
Oh, aren't you the unpredictable one?
I was hoping I would just grab him and huck him.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would either do that or, like, somehow form a bridge with their own bodies, seeing as how they're made out of paper, but whatever.
That would be funny.
I like how even these creatures, ooh, they have, like, eyes all over their back.
Yeah.
And they have skulls, like, multiple for heads. Neat.
Horrifying. I do really like the,
Feathers.
yeah, the designs for the enemies are great. I don't like the golems' designs. They're kind of
Funky.
dumpy.
Yeah, there are these, there's a square on the other side, too. I suppose they all make paths?
I'm gonna check both. Yeah, so it looks like the other square is probably how we, unlock the door,
Oh.
maybe? I don't know.
I don't recall ever hearing a violin piece before.
No. This game's music is really good. Like, every... I'm actually surprised it didn't do very well, comparatively. Like, I don't think they did PR particularly well for the game. Oh.
They're portals.
So there's...
So there is a way for you to get from one place to another.
Yeah, I was wondering, it's like... These look like wind walls. Let's see if I can bump into one of them, and it turns out... Sorta.
Oh, that just takes you to the start. So now you know not to
Oh.
go in that one.
Okay, good. I have to explore for the sake of... Well...
I know.
This is different.
Yeah, so I think the goal is just to... Huh.
It's a switch of some variety, so it's kind of a puzzle, kind of not. This is a Pokemon puzzle. That's what it is.
Now that's gonna take you elsewhere. And then... Oh, but something dropped. Oh well. That's new.
Yeah.
It has like
this whole area is new.
coffin shield.
Well.
Oh, stunned.
I think so. It's a little bit hard to tell what's going on.
Those golems have been helpful at the very
Oh yeah,
least.
no, they've been very effective. It's interesting. They're actually they actually have, you know, specific mask powers.
Yeah, I think those switches were just supposed to find and activate, because they disappear as soon as you touch them.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. No, this is fine.
I know. I think you're supposed to go to the other one.
Yes.
But
Well, no. That would bring us back the way we came. So the point of those two big buttons probably was to expand a path here for us to be able to follow. I could be wrong.
wait. There's a glowy spot to the far left.
Oh, so there is.
It's just a little bit obscured by the wall.
Wait.
Oh, you had accidentally gone into it.
Yep. Oh.
But we'd been there before? Question
Yeah.
mark?
Yeah, we already hit that one, I think. I'm confused. Games like these need a map. I don't know. I hate the indistinct teleporter.
I always wonder what it was like initially playing MMOs when you were just supposed to explore the world, remember where certain people were located. If an NPC told you, oh, you know, I found this spot by the river and there's a cavern off to the east, you know, then you just have to traipse your way around the river and find a cavern to the east.
So, like, early World of Warcraft had a map, admittedly.
Ooh, now that's different.
Yeah, so I guess I need to go back and look for a one more switch. We flipped 3. My bet is there's a 4th. Maybe it's color coordinated, like a purple
Are you sure
barrier?
that's just not the final? Oh, well, there's something new.
Yep. My bet is we're gonna have a purple button up ahead.
Purple.
But like early World of Warcraft had kind of a system like that where you really didn't know where the NPCs were. Mm-hmm. You just had to kind of guesstimate. And like honestly, it actually worked out fairly well. Usually it wasn't an issue. There were a couple that were, I'm gonna say, particularly obtuse. Like you probably wouldn't know of the joke Mankirk's wife, would you?
No, but I assume you had to find her?
Yeah,
or...
so effectively, Orc named Mankirk's wife went missing, got kidnapped or something, and he tells you to go find her, but she's like really hard to find, even though she's actually just in a shack, like maybe a couple minutes down the road. But this is in the Barrens, which is like the largest zone in the entire game at the time, and so it was a common trope where people would ask, hey, where's Mankirk's wife? And it became like an in-joke, but like legitimately, very hard to find her. And that wasn't uncommon. Though of course there are quests like EverQuest, or even more so, I mean the Secret World still has that, where they don't have quest markers, and you have to figure this shit out on your own. Mm-hmm. Which is part of the reason why I'd be interested in giving that one a go, because I think it's purely buy to play now. I think, what's it? Not EverQuest. Elder Scrolls Online finally did its like one Tamriel thing, so you can do that too.
Right. And I think they may have even gotten rid of the faction distinction?
Yes. Yeah, so it's just like, well, our player base is slowly dwindling. Let's try and up it as much as we can. And it was actually a really, really good idea.
With all of the, with all of this, you know, the Horde and Alliance working together that they've been having a lot of late in the most recent expansions, you don't think there'll ever be a time where the Horde and the Alliance ever work together?
No, probably not. Maybe the very, very end, but I realize, wait, what's this?
Dementicati technology and new engraving.
Huh.
Well,
Weird.
it helps you add new skills to your masks and such.
Yeah. I don't remember what engravings... No,
Yeah.
I do remember engravings now. Sorry.
Lucia.
Lucia?
Just in time, Cicero.
What are you? Lucia! Hold your ground!
I don't understand.
It is the Chimera. Yeah. Wait, so she didn't send those golems to help you? It's a jellyfish umbrella lantern thing.
And is completely unaffected by my specials. Yep. Stay out of that.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind. It actually took out one of your golems.
Yeah, they're dying. I've noticed them. I mean, they're not perfect. They're tough suckers.
This thing seems to be able to
Horses.
use all elements.
She'd better have an explanation for this.
Edward. Oh.
Hmm?
Well, that's freaky. Okay, so you read Full Metal Alchemist, right?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember the Chimera?
Oh yeah, that was the dude's daughter.
Yeah.
And
I
dog.
just got an achievement called Edward. Yeah, defeat the Chimera.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what the little girl dog would say. She'd go, Edward.
This is it then? Well, I suppose it was nice knowing you two.
Goodbye.
I actually will admit I was not expecting them to wave. You'd think people would have checked out these runes more.
Beautiful, isn't it?
You just tried to kill me.
No. I knew you'd survive. I just wanted to show you how powerful they were. And now you've seen. I promise there's no ambush this time. Just you and me.
I hope you've prepared your answers.
In Ombric, we'd call it Barati. They were once one of the Domenicate's many weapons. These were carriers of Mascherines, built to use them to fight, expand their empire.
How?
They use Mascherines without fear of salting. They might not use the Medea very well, but untamed fire will still burn.
They were effective?
The Domeniticate Empire spanned the entire continent. Altamir, Evamus, Lystra, everything.
Forming the Dactytes, getting the artifacts, fishing up ancient weapons. Why?
What this city needs is a proper leader.
What are you planning?
Seymour's crown is too volatile to juggle, and too large to overthrow. There is only one other avenue.
You want to topple the registry?
Yes. Once the crown sees the power we wield, believe me, they will submit. And if they don't...
Are you listening to yourself? The streets will run with blood if you...
A necessary price.
For what?
Another cataclysm. Another is coming, Cicero. The Lady has foreseen it. And the city will not survive it unless it stands united.
Again, the Lady. Why do you keep...
She led me to this. This is the heart. One piece to creating Mascherines.
How?
She is Fae.
Faye. They are mindless.
They used to be Domeniticati.
Impossible.
Don't tell me you don't see it. When Mascherines are destroyed, what is left behind?
Mists.
Yes! Mascherines, Domeniticati, Fae. All things of this land, all with secrets from the past.
This is madness.
Cicero,
Enough, Lucia.
listen to me, Cicero.
Enough!
Remember, you came here of your own accord. Think what it would mean to try to stop me with the powers I have on my side. Powers you can scarcely even begin to understand. What it would mean for your friends.
You would not hurt them?
Not if I didn't need to. And you know them. You can keep them out of harm's way. or you can drag them into the deep with you.
Where do we begin?
The first thing you must do is learn the histories of the land. The knowledge the Vegulas have on the Dimenticate is but a fraction of the truth. This will teach you everything you need to know about the ancient people. Then you will truly understand. Until then, however, we must...
Cicero! We need to go.
What's going on?
The Portieri, they followed you. We tried to...
Do not let the traitor leave!
Defend me!
Alrighty then.
Yep.
But hey, you have the scroll, right?
Yeah, I got the scroll.
Now, when he says traitor, does he mean Lucia? Does he mean you
Probably
and
Lucia.
Probably Lucia.
Yeah. We haven't done anything necessarily traitorous yet. Okay, so, yep, looks like the Portieri on my side. Boop.
They probably figured you were trying to do a double cross on Lucia.
Or they figured you probably weren't decided yet.
Mm-hmm.
Or me. I don't know.
You mean Cicero?
Yeah, because Cicero has been decidedly, like, rogue this entire time. Remember, what's his face? Yep,
Sir,
hello.
The creatures are too strong. Bring down the pillars.
What?
Are you deaf, Valencio?
Sir, we have men.
We cannot let the traitor live.
Sir, Cicero is still there.
I don't care. Now do it.
Yes, sir.
They're just gonna make the whole thing come crashing down on them?
They're bringing the place down!
We need to get out of here!
That slab! Get up, everyone! What are you? I said get on!
Ouch. Don't get knocked down too much. Everyone else is much better at dodging rubble than you.
It's not like they give me a whole lot of time.
Doing? There's only one way out of this, and it is up.
You cannot lift us all up!
I can try.
It has been tried, Bosco, hundreds of times, and everyone who has tried has salted.
Thankfully, this is my first attempt.
Bosco!
I will not abandon you. Not this time.
What?
Now, be a dear and keep the falling rocks away from me.
Jump!
Bosco! Can you hear me? He's salting. He needs help.
The estuary. Elena has some herbs that might help.
I'll get the coach.
Hang in there.
Is that when you use too much of your mask's power and you threaten to just...
Turn into salt, I guess. Act 3, Tune of the Tides.
How is he?
His body has stabilized.
And everything else?
He isn't awake yet. I had to give him a mixture of Redsworth and Avondale to stop the seizures.
How long?
The next few minutes. That combination is potent, but it doesn't last very long.
How did you know?
Elena heard you taking one of the horses. She told us, and we followed you to the Sunken Star. I wanted to go in after you, but Vasco said you needed space.
And the Portieri?
We weren't the only ones who were chasing your tail. Not long after we arrived at the Sunken Star, we saw Portieri approach. That's when we decided to go in after you.
How did they know?
Vasco suspects that Avestus sent someone to follow you too. He probably suspected that you were hiding something. And you were.
I told you this investigation might bring us to darker places.
So?
I've failed before. The War of Bearings, Lysandra, Razatov, all failures, all because I'm not good enough.
You think you're responsible for us?
I'm in charge of this investigation. Where I go, so do you.
Because I want to. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of at least 2 of the others when I say that. You say that you feel responsible for us. Then think about us. How do you think we feel when you run off with your secrets like that?
Calden, you don't know what we're going up against.
And still, I choose to stay. To follow you. Now you think about what that means.
Bosco. Bosco? Bosco, listen to me. Bosco! Can you hear me? If you understand me, nod. Good. Now calm down. Everything will be all right. What is it?
I can't.
You can't speak.
Why?
Bosco, stop.
Why? Cicero.
Bosco, please.
No! Why?
You salted.
Salted?
In the ruins. To get us out.
I remember. For you.
I know. I know.
Please. Go.
Yeah, I want to see the lore on salting. Can I read it?
Nope. Instead, we have the Lady 3!
Oh.
Okay, let's go figure out what salting is. Part of the reason I don't really like.
Doesn't it show you what new ones there are?
Sort of.
I wish they would highlight new ones.
They did. The problem is they haven't, like, since we haven't been reading them, these diamonds are these are the new ones. It's probably under magic. Salting.
Okay, my father always used to tell me that all things in the world were fair. I don't believe that I have quite come to agree with the sentiment, although I do appreciate that he was trying to sweeten our lot in life with his words. I will, however, agree with that one point when it comes to power in this world. Always there are consequences to wielding power. Losses that come in various forms. It is no different with the Mascherines. Despite abilities that the Mascherines bestow, tapping too deeply into the powers of the Masquerine has crippling side effects. There's a threshold at which the Vigilists have come to identify, crossing which a Masquerada undergoes a process called salting, named so because of how apparently similar the effects are to overdosing on the drug called stone salt. The effects differ marginally from case to case, but in general when a Masquerada salts... sorry, you keep turning the page.
I'm trying to scroll down so you have enough room for the rest.
Their mind is rent and torn apart. If you recover enough to continue functioning normally, no victims have ever had the process reversed. Why exactly we salt is, like any other aspect of the Mascherines, unknown, but the Vigilists have shown that it is possible to, through practice of the media, push back one salting point.